What if I told you that one radio show could change the industry? 4 guys would change the landscape of the university with one radio show. The show aired weekly from 9 to 10 on WHEI 88.9. These guys would start the radio show and it'd be legendary. It all started with 2 guys with a goal and a vision in mind for this show.
The Nashty Fries, back when those guys started, it was pretty fun. The Nashty Fries started with just 2 guys and one radio show, and then it grew. It started out with myself, Kyle Nash, and Dominic Frey. We were kind of looking for something to do on campus to get ourselves out there, and we found radio, and we said we'd have a talk show with some rap music, and back when those guys started, that's when it all kind of got together. So that's how the Nashty Fries kind of started on a random, fall semester.
From its small, simple, and humble beginnings, the Nashty Fries has only grown. After its first semester, Dominic and Kyle added Sean Humphreys to the show for his experience.
We picked up Sean after our first semester. He was kind of interested in the show.
Kyle asked me to be on it sophomore year. They said, hey, do you want to come and do a radio show where we talk about sports, listen to hip-hop music for an hour on Tuesdays? I was like, heck yeah, that sounds amazing. There's nothing more fun than doing a talk radio show about sports and listening to your favorite music with some of your best friends.
The Nashty Fries would go on to add Cameron Weeks to be their 4th and final piece of the puzzle. Cam brings intelligence and a strong perspective to the table, and he adds another dimension.
I got started because my roommate and one of my good friends from home were doing the radio show, Kyle Nash and Dominic Frey. That's why it's called the Nashty Fries. And at first I was just gonna just go in and kind of hang out for a radio show or 2, and then it just kind of became like an all-semester thing.
Adding a 4th guy kind of helped the radio show flow a little better. It was able to ask each one of the members a question. He's pretty knowledgeable on basketball, especially NBA. He gave us a really good insight on some of the stuff that's happening right now, and he just knows sports. He knows the sports lingo. And just adding Cam just added some, more knowledge about what we were talking about. So it was a good addition.
And we picked up Cam this past year. He kind of grew, and he's really enjoyed being on the radio. I didn't think he'd like it at first, and I wasn't sure if I don't know if he knew he would like it, but it definitely grew.
The Nashty Fries is a superior talk show for several reasons, including their chemistry together. Listeners can tell that the 4 of them are great friends while on air and outside of the studio. They have a unique chemistry which bonds them together.
I'd say the chemistry between us 4 is fairly good. We know when to talk and when to not talk over each other. We all ask each other questions. When we get in the booth, we really get involved and are really focused on just trying to get the best content on the radio. And back when those guys started, man, that's when all the chemistry began, and we've included one person at a time, and it's just worked out really well between the 4 of us.
I think it flows really well. Dom definitely does a good job at, adding music to it. When we go to song break, making sure the mic levels are in touch. And then Kyle's really good at asking questions, coming up with stuff on the spot, and just bringing up stuff that we wouldn't think about. And then I like going in depth into different topics, and then Cam just has good knowledge on what we're talking about.
So I've known Kyle for a pretty long time now, and I've been living with Dom and Sean, so it was a really easy transition. It was just like talking to them like we were in the room. So it was very easy to get along with each other, and the chemistry was flawless. So.
These 4 guys are continuously looking for ways to improve their show. They all have their separate short and long-term goals they are trying to achieve. With these guys working together, there's nothing that they cannot accomplish.
I think for the long-term goal of the show, I think we need to do a little bit more interviews. We had a really good interview with Jonas this year. He's actually participating in American Ninja Warrior as we speak, and that was a really good addition to the show. I think that segment just kind of expanded on what we could do. I think we also need to maybe get into more topics. I think we kind of focus on maybe one sport for the whole show, and maybe we can expand on some a little more.
Next year, 3 of the 4 of us are going to be seniors. Kyle's going to be a junior, and then after that, it's kind of hard to tell. I mean, we might be here for a 5th year, or a couple of us. I think the show will go fine with at least like 2 or 3 of us if we stick around. Beyond that, I think it's kind of Kyle's job to kind of carry it on and do what he wants with it at that point.
The ball is in Kyle's court for the long-term future of the show, but where does he see it heading?
We're already national. We already got listeners all over the nation. So I think global. We get an ESPN segment, even though I'm not involved in radio. Someday we're going to get an ESPN segment, simple as that.
Going global with an ESPN segment. If you shoot for the moon, you'll land in the stars. Nashty Fries, Tuesdays on WHEI 88.9.